Hi everyone, Catalan Ben here, and today we're discussing why professional football players can't seem to take corners. Let's have a look at it in a bit more detail. So what's wrong with professional football players that can't get a corner into the box without hitting the first man? It's a frustration of mine, and a lot of coaches seem to share this online. So we're going to have a look now at exactly what it is that means that a professional football player who's trained as a set piece taker can't get a corner right. So first of all, let's look at the distance. Now the distance isn't a problem because a professional football player taking a corner kick with their strong foot should be able to reach almost the opposite touchline with the ball without hitting the floor. Most pro players can get that amount of distance quite easily without the ball touching the floor or even going anywhere near head height. So if distance isn't the problem as to why they can't get the ball past the front post, then let's look at the next part of the puzzle, the goalkeeper. So whenever you're looking to swing in a corner, you're always aiming to avoid the goalkeeper. That means not putting the ball too close to the goal line. It also means not putting too much height and backspin on the ball. So often when you see corner kicks taken by a pro player, they don't hit a ball that's floated with backspin looping into the box. The reason they don't do that is because the ball moves slower through the air, is easier for a keeper to come out and collect, and easier for a centre-back to try and make a headed clearance too. This is also the same reason that players try to hit out-swinging corners. So this is a corner that swings away from the goal line and toward the penalty spot to make it more difficult for the keeper to come and claim. It does also make the ball slightly harder to head as well for your attacking players, so that's part of the reason why we don't always see out-swinging corners coming away from the keeper. We also see in-swinging corners, and those in-swinging corners bend towards the goal. They bend closer towards the edge of the 6-yard box, but also a little bit closer to the keeper. They're easier for attacking players to try and get on the end of, but also easier for your goalkeeper to then try and claim too. Now, all professional players are capable of hitting an in-swinging corner, an out-swinging corner, and a backspin one that floats into the box. But most corners that you see nowadays that don't manage to clear the first man are because of these reasons. First of all is the man on the edge of the 6-yard box. So most defending teams now, Didier Drogba was a master at this, they will put a strong, tall player who's good at heading on that front post around the corner of the 6-yard box. That means that any ball that goes 7 feet or below off the ground is going to be intercepted by that player. They can jump and try and reach it, they can stick a leg out, get their head on it, flick it over towards the keeper, or just make a headed clearance that goes out towards the edge of the box. So that person that's put in that position is a tactical decision that defensive teams have now started to employ to try and stop the ball before it even gets into a dangerous area. The next reason, and the most important reason, and the real crux of the problem, the whole point of this video is to explain the top spin corner. So a top spin corner is where the striking player who's taking the corner is trying to generate dip and top spin on the ball to pull the ball down quickly. Now, not only is this a difficult technique to execute, it takes a lot of practice and it's a very, very small margin for error when you execute this technique, but it also means you have to hit the ball with a lot of force and very hard to get the ball to rise to the correct height, but come down quickly around the area between the penalty spot and the edge of the 6-yard box. So when a player is trying to put in a top spin corner, they are trying to hit a ball extremely hard in a very specific part of the ball with a certain technique. And this has got to go above 7 foot to avoid that first player, but has definitely got to come back down around the penalty spot below 10 feet. So they're aiming for a 3-foot window with topspin and with power from between 30 to 40 metres away. So imagine you're trying to hit a ball that is high enough to go over that first man, dips quickly enough to come down and land on your striker's head. You don't overhit it so that it goes beyond the penalty spot where it's a lot more difficult to finish, and you don't underhit it where it doesn't clear the first man. As well as trying to do all that, you're trying to get the accuracy to not put it inside the 6-yard box, because the top spin that brings the ball down brings it towards the goalkeeper and they can quickly claim it. And you're also trying to make sure the ball doesn't go too far away from the goal, away from the penalty spot, where any striker that gets on the end of it isn't going to be able to score with their first touch. So when you really break down this technique, which is a very common technique that players now use for taking corners, it's super effective. And the reason why you see so many great corners that land on a striker's head and fly straight in the back of the net these days is because of the top spin effect that players are trying to put on their cross. But what I want to help you understand is that it's not as simple as just whipping the ball into the box. The topspin that they're trying to generate is an inconsistent technique because it's very difficult to do. You're trying to hit the ball at a very high velocity and you've got a very small window that you're trying to land the ball in. So that's some of the reasons why when you see a professional player take a corner, you might not see him beat the first man, or you might get frustrated and think, I can swing a corner in, why can't you? The technique they're going for is a lot more difficult, but hopefully a lot more effective when they get it right. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done already, if you want to see more videos just like this one, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.